Great. All right. So, welcome to our mid-month mini break for February 2016. I'm really delighted that you all could make it here live. And I also want to welcome everyone who is planning on coming and participating during the recording. And I do want to make a point about the value of participating at any time. I work on quantum time, which means that regardless of when you participate in the group, in the energy that I run and the things that I do, I set the intention that the energy of the group builds regardless of the time or the place that you participate. So in terms of quantum time, that means that there is no time or space in my world of coming together and meeting. So that's why I invite people to come and participate in the recording. So I'm going to turn on a little music, and this music is actually a piece that came from a friend of mine, Gary Davis, who is the husband of Kay Davis, who owns, if you're local, who owns Atlantis in Johnson City, Tennessee. And if you like his stuff, you can call Atlantis and find out how to get one of his recordings. So hold on, I'm going to start the music with the screen share, so bear with me. And we're going to go through a quick meditation, and I just want to get you in that mode of really reflecting and taking a breath in the middle of your month. So let me just attempt this. All right. So just get comfortable. And take a few deep breaths. And Amanda, I can see you, so if you can hear this, can you just raise your hand and let me know if you can hear the music? Great. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. So if you want to stand up and move around, you can. But I just want you to feel your body. Feel your feet on the ground, maybe shake the day out. Raise your arms overhead, stretch. And just shake it all out. And when you breathe, feel your lungs filling up from the bottom, expanding your abdomen and then lifting your chest. And on your exhales, just let out the tensions of the day, of the month, of the season. And take a moment to just set an intention for being present and reflecting and regrouping for the second half of February. And as you do that, focus on your heart center, right in the center of your chest. And see it like an opening that just Oh, I lost the word. Like not a kaleidoscope, but a telescope or something that opens so that you can see and feel with your heart and feel it opening up as much as is comfortable for you. And as you do that, imagine yourself or feel yourself sitting back to receive through your heart center. Each of you gives so much from your heart, and it's time for you to receive. So as you open and become receptive, imagine that universal life force and light are being funneled and channeled right into your heart center. And just breathe it in, allowing it to fill you up. And as that light fills up your heart and fills up the rest of your body, feel it circulating and energizing each cell and each molecule of your physical form. Feel it going down into your torso, your legs, your feet, anchoring you to the ground. And then up from your heart into your neck and head, your third eye, right at the center of your forehead, and up into your crown, connecting you to the heavens. And as you feel yourself energized by the light of love and illumination, take a moment to look back at what you might have intended for the beginning of February. No judgments on whether you achieved what you thought you would achieve or you aligned with what you thought you wanted to align with. Just notice what that intention was. And then realize at this present moment that that was then and this is now. And if you enjoy that intention now, you can bring it back into your present moment to color the rest of your month. And if you want to set a new intention, this is a new, fresh moment to do that. So allow your new intention to settle in to your system. You can bring it in through your heart and allow it to fill you up, just like that light, that universal life force energy and light. Let that new intention just fill you up. And now ask yourself what you may need or what you may need to be open to embody and fully live that intention all the way through to the end of the month. So that light continues to stream in through your heart. Let it inform you of what you really want to call into your experience to support you in living this intention. Okay. And when you're ready, you don't have to close your heart up, but if you want to just come back into your space, and I just turned off the music. I don't know if it was still going or not. So I'd like to know where you all are with what you're intending and what you intended at the beginning of the month and what you're intending to embody all the way through to the end of the month. So if you want to type it in the chat box, that would be great. And actually, I can just open, if everybody is, if you have noise in the background, mute yourself, but I'm going to unmute everyone. Okay. All right. So I have the line open if anyone wants to share, or if you want to type it in, that's fine too. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so did any of you come in with intentions that you'd like to share, or do you want to share what intentions you're establishing through the end of the month? Okay, Christine says that her intention was to be settled, but it doesn't seem to be happening. And yeah, so yeah, I know, Christine, you were going to make a huge move. And your invitation changed dramatically. Okay, so here's your question. How do you need or want to be, and the operative word there is be, for the rest of the month, given your the dramatic change in what you thought was going to happen and what is actually happening? And If anybody else wants to share, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I have a few things to share with you. Okay, just giving you a few seconds there.
Oh, sorry, I didn't unmute myself. Sorry, Sandy.
Oh.
Yes, I'm a bit confused because the invitation was set and the bargain was made. I would call it a bargain. You know, the strategies were outlined that I had set up with my family members. And when I arrived, everything just got totally changed. And the expectation was that I would be fine with that. But what the expectation was that I would put aside all my studies to totally concentrate on what was happening here. And I'm very surprised by that. And I'm over it now, but it rocked my boat for days. I was around in a daze, 4 days, because obviously, you know, my studies are very important, and it was just not considered important at all. I was here like a white knight in shining armour, but that wasn't the deal. And I've sort of lost part of my, I did in the beginning, I lost part of myself because I was supposed to do all for what was needed. But I'm dealing with I'm dealing with elderly parents with issues, and I was wanting to get some professionals involved, and I've been told that the help isn't needed now, whereas it was agreed upon. So what I need to do is I need to look after myself, because it seems to affect, I don't know if it's all projectors, but it seems to affect us in the head as well when things like that happen. Like I noticed one other family member going, oh, well, you know, bargains were broken, promises were made and broken severely, move on. And I found it hard to move.
Interesting.
Yeah,
well, you know,
generator, and she was able to move on. She was very upset and very disappointed for a day, and shocked that the whole setup was just broken, you know, and I was left adrift, sort of thing. But she got over it, and she's got energy, and I think, oh, I wish I had her energy, because I'm struggling to find my energy.
Well, you know, this is a really interesting thing, and it brings into, for those of you, and I think everybody on the line, if you're not familiar with human design, you can go to my website at coachingwithsandy.com and read a little bit about human design. And what we're looking at actually in the transits is the gate 49 just came through, and that can be some really heavy black and white energy for breaking agreements that maybe aren't in your best interest at the time. So I want to encourage you to just relax into that and find a way to let go of expectations, of anything that is really using up more of your energy than you need to. I know that we've got some generators on the line and some projectors on the line, so I don't want to go into the projector and the generator difference in energy, but for any of you, is anyone else feeling that, like you've had things that kind of fell through at the last minute, or changes that are happening at the very last minute?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just par for the course. Hi, Tracy, I see you up there. Yeah, so that's just par for the course, and you know, let's just all take a big deep breath, because this is going to actually probably be one of the themes for the rest of the year. So let's set an intention to be able to relax and just let go of the mind chatter. And here's one thing that really helps. And if you're familiar with the 12-step programs, I'm kind of borrowing this from my old counseling days. But you know, you can always change a thought with a thought, or a thought with an action. And a lot of times action is even more powerful than thought, especially in these times, especially in the Northern Hemisphere at this time, when we're kind of all in the middle of cabin fever, especially if we live somewhere where it tends to get really cold. and it has been in the East here lately. The environment and the weather and the winter and the season can encourage you to kind of get stuck and still and paralyzed, especially when change starts to come into your life. So, and then you get stuck in your mind because you're not moving your body. So the best thing to do, or that I encourage you to try and experiment with, is to change a thought with an action. And that action doesn't have to be doing something outside of yourself. It can actually be something that you do for yourself. So, yoga is really great if you do that. Getting outside, washing the dishes. Look around your environment and really ask yourself, what's the next thing? What's the next thing that I can do or take a step into? Maybe it would even be just a nap. What's the next best thing for me to take action on? And for the projectors in the room, maybe that action is inner action. So it could be something as simple as just stopping and feeling that opening in your heart and asking for a little bit of guidance from the universal forces. So it is one moment and one present moment at a time. And this year, I think especially, we're going to find that there's going to be a lot of opportunities to come into that present moment with just knowing that this is the way it is and being able to ride with it. So that said, the Gate 49 is actually coming back into the transits, I think, at the end of the month. So, there may be some really powerful energy for breaking agreements again, for last minute changes, for things that cause you to get into black and white thinking. And I want to encourage all of you, as you move through from now until the end of the month, to really look at where you may be catching yourself in black and white thinking, and it might be time to just take a breath and relax and be still with yourself and ask, what's the next thing? Do I change it with a thought inside of me? Do I change a thought inside of me, or is there an action I can take, usually inside of me, that will allow me to ride these changes in a more graceful way? So,
can I say something?
Absolutely. I was going to ask, does anyone have something to say?
It's funny. It's so thematic. I've been reading the book Compassionate Self-Hate by Theodore Rubin, and he's discussing the whole black and white. And then I happened to see a seminar on tapping and taking a pause, and in concert with that, I can relate to the sort of the things falling through type of thing in relation to what Theodore Rubin says is, how have we put expectations on ourselves to be a certain way, or the other person to be a certain way? And is that something that's creating in us a letdown because we've put ourselves at a level that we couldn't maintain, so we let ourselves down, and there's a little bit of bitterness, but it's really at us because, let's face it, it's all what we think, and right then and there when we're feeling the bitterness, it's a bit of self-disgust, self-expectations that we either didn't live up to, or we thought were agreements made by somebody else that we're taking personally, whatever. But I guess it's the take-home message is exactly what you said. Switch the energy to compassion. And if that compassion in yourself is not clear, do something that changes the energy, that feels good, that is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Taking care of yourself.
Yes, do something compassionate for yourself. Thank you for sharing that, Tracy. That was really, really valuable. Yeah, so I'm looking at our time and we're coming up on the end of our half-hour break, and I think that's a great thing to leave with, is this idea or this thing to ponder of as you move through with the intention that you set for the next half of the month, being aware of the compassionate action that you can take in each moment, something for you, doing something for you that's compassionate, and that is that's just so beautiful, and it's so called for and timely. So thank you for that. I do want to let all of you know that I know we mostly got projectors on the line. We have a class for projectors on Thursday night, intention setting. If you want to know more about that, go to humandesignprojector.com. If you're not sure that you're a projector and you want to get a copy of your human design chart, come to coachingwithsandy.com and look under the link that says human design, and you can find out how to get a chart to see what your energy type is. And I also want to invite all of you to check out, if you like taking breaks and retreats for yourself and you want to explore more of this, I'm going to be doing a longer retreat once a month, the first Sunday of each month. March, April, and May so far are scheduled. And I will post that link in our on our event page if you want to check that out. You're all invited, and you're invited to invite other people who really need to or want to deepen their relationship with themselves, their self-care process, their self-care program, their awareness, and most of all, their compassion for who they are, and also for how they can get insight into being more compassionate with themselves. So I want to thank all of you guys for showing up. And I hope that this break was rejuvenating and thoughtful and carries you through the next couple weeks, actually the next month. We're going to have one of these on the 15th of every month. So you're invited to attend all of them. And I'll invite all of you that signed up this time on Facebook, and we'll just continue to go from there. So thank you for participating and bringing your lovely, beautiful energy tonight.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
You too.